どうでもいいけどまた飲んだめたい無情無情なリズムに合わせてワンツーステップで年の当てればユースは装飾愛されたモテそう過ぎてはトーナーへとの入植できない無理でバスして面接も作れ登場別々芸大君主不精神壊滅ペラペラないこたく並べしゃって霊力を示すをドツボスって気持ちよくなりたいだけならそのものようなもので私を殴って赤い花が先になれて足元こそこさくれつなる来る頼みを取りましょうどれ100年この今頃にはみんな新作戦ながらわいやいやいや来る私を抱きしめてもっと激しく脳汁分泌させたら次すぐこうまでいっちゃってこの電話番号はこの電話番号はこの電話番号はこの電話番号はこの電話番号はこの電話番号はこの電話番号は現在使われておりません一問一答カリスマ弁護士ハウスモンも売り上げている伝わってからめるとやつが飲んで親が押したがる農業バイアス両断愛語類一連卓上祭りの弟子恋愛 NG 5悪魔メイクで昇格林で3時のやつがまた飲んだめますスラップベースの刻みに合わせて花切り筋やなでしゃがんだ笑顔の松女子会時に完全スイッチで当てて次飛びたいね短い焼肉の旦那くぐって定着ウイルスで全薄からでは芸2年目大学で招きされて尻尾振ってる従順なこういうみたいな可愛さは最初から求めてないからその技のまで私の友達はってなる人さとは暮らしごと私ものとしょと炸裂ださあ来る頼みを取りましょうどうせ100年この今頃にはみんな新作戦だからわいやいやいや今すぐ私を抱きしめてもっとみしょみしょのない今やつに惚れてそのこと長い時なしてさあ来る頼みを取りましょうきっと100年ほど私は美少女に生まれ変わってるはずだから古臭い花が抜きすべてもっと激しく脳汁分泌させたら次の向こうがめいちゃって
Hello. Hello. Hi. Welcome, y'all. Hi. I wasn't gonna go live until tomorrow. But this video was uploaded a few hours ago and I just I had to watch it. So I've already seen this. I have a lot of opinions, but I'm gonna go ahead and watch it through a second time and like really listen to this guy, okay? Before I start, hello chat. Hi, Kozantin. Hey, I'm actually gonna go live tomorrow with Kozantin. We're gonna watch some Lorne content that I have not yet seen, so I'm really excited about that. Hello, voice to voice. Um, but yeah, let's go ahead and get started here. I have a lot of thoughts about this, like I said. But Gregory, hey, darling, how are you? Welcome. So this is a topic that I've kind of never touched on because I've never really thought about it. I myself have a lot of experience with Paypigs as a accountant. God, that was so millennial of me. But hello, Chucky, welcome. Um, but I have a lot of experience with these people, and like, yes, hello, Spooky Foot Lettuce. It is only use me blade. Um, and like I've never understood their mindset. So like, you know, there's an ethical way to go about these things, you know, because a lot of these people have like an addiction to shopping or things like that, you know. Only lose me leg. So like it's kind of a really mixed situation because I feel for a lot of these people because I have been addicted to things myself. I'm sure a lot of you have also either dealt with or dealt with somebody who was in active addiction or, you know, anything like that. So like it's just interesting to see And this guy kind of makes me a little angry, and I want to say this before I start. I'm not discounting that this man may have some kind of addiction or may have some kind of something out of his control that is making him do this, you know? And like always, mental illness does not mean that you are not responsible for what you do. You still do the things you do, and you need to own up to that and take responsibility for it, you know? Um, but just know that regardless um of my stance on what this person says, I understand that addiction is something that you cannot stop. And it's something that is very difficult to stop. I don't want anyone to think that I don't, you know, that I don't believe addiction is a serious topic. So, um, sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna die on this hill. And it's not a popular opinion, but whoever sent Blade booze and urged him to drink is just as much of an asshole as Blade. Absolutely. It is important. A lot of people like Smokey and Kiwi, who this is on Kiwi archives. Um I'm sure everybody here knows who Kiwi and Smokey are. We I love those guys. Um I've seen a couple of you in the chats, so I know some of you watch. Um but let's go ahead and get started. The thing that these guys say is that, you know, look, don't touch. You can observe and you can watch these guys and you can make fun of them, but don't give them money. Don't try to reach out to them, things like that. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah.
big chungus.
Oh man, I gotta get rid of the. Hold on, I gotta get rid of the YouTube. Okay, there we go. What's up?
So, like, why? That's my main question. Why, bro?
So here's the deal. Also, apparently nobody has their camera on, although now you know it's me. That's fine. But the thing is that Blade is very, very attached to money. And when you give him money, he does things. And I don't believe he's a good person. Now, I will say I am friends with him because, you know, he's not necessarily bad to me, but I know he's not a good person in the real world. So I give it about a fifth credit of like a normal friendship. Um,
Hey, Chucky, if you have any questions or any concerns, my um my Discord and my email are in my bio. I would absolutely, you know, love if you maybe give us some context or if you have a question or anything. That would be nice.
and what I will say is that like you just give him money and he just does what you want
Hello, Tracy Hamill. Welcome.
because it's money. Um, Now, I'm not saying I'm the most stable person in the world. In fact, I probably have a lot of unresolved issues that I need to work through. In fact, I know that. But, you know,
I'm Bust Baby.
Oh my goodness. Yes, you are voice to voice. Thank you.
it is it's entertaining to be able to
control his money.
real time interact. Exactly. It's
No, I don't think it's the interaction that this person is attracted to. I think they are attracted to the fact that they can use their money to make somebody do things for their entertainment, which isn't too much of a horrible thing. It really isn't, because I mean, we pay people to entertain us all the time, you know? Shows, TV shows, movies, all that stuff, we pay to be entertained, of course. But when somebody's life is legitimately at risk, you know, it's completely different.
it's like Fish Tank, but without the whole overhead. You know, like you just give him $21 and he takes a triple and starts saying things that you never would say in your entire life. Um, you know, and it's funny when I mean, you know, I've had. I'm going to be candid here. I've had conversations with people he knows, and they find it funny. They enjoy when he goes absolutely insane, and I would
Beck,
say
is Beck who you've had conversations with Beck? Does Beck enjoy
I,
it?
I've had a couple different people, but you know, that's I'll
Hello, Allison Marie Armstrong. Welcome.
there's I mean, it's a love-hate relationship for her. She definitely wants to see him be the best person he can be, but same as myself. I mean, I would love to see him completely clean up and uh you know, make himself a better person. That frankly is, I mean, obviously,
I mean,
you know,
like you said though, if he does, then he can stop expecting all the donations you give him and all. No, so
well,
there's no reason.
that's the problem. I do feel like, and I give all the credit to Brian on this one, I do feel like it's stacked against him. Most of his audience, like you said, wants to watch him fail,
Hello, all the way absurd. Hi.
wants to watch him.
But that's what you just said you're paying for. You're part of it.
Well, yes, but since he showed some attempt of trying to better himself, I mean, my money issues disconnected. I never was in a good place necessarily to donate, but
Why
I did
give
because
him
it was
thousands? Why?
well, because I had the
Yeah, that's a little bit of context for whoever doesn't know. This person gave Only Use Me Blade thousands of dollars. I'm not sure exactly how many thousands of dollars, but thousands of dollars that you could have just spent on yourself, that you could have just paid bills with, or I don't know. He says it was surplus income, so it's like you could have, I don't know, gone out and like gotten yourself a bunch of shit. Like go out and get yourself like a good fucking computer, like a good like I don't know, a car, maybe upgrade your house, get a pet, I don't know, like thousands of dollars. Like if somebody dropped just $1,000 on me right now, like the things that I could do with that, and like none of those things involve giving money to somebody who has sexually harassed and assaulted many, many women
I had the
that we have seen.
liquidity at the time, and it
But
wasn't
now
a big
now
deal.
look at this point. Look at this point. I heard somewhere that you're struggling on something, and Brian drank all of that could have helped you right now.
Dude, you could have drunk all that money. You could have just taken all that money and drank it for yourself. Spend it on drugs, whatever the fuck you want, dog. Not send it to a fucking yeah. Oh my gosh. He's gonna make some points later that I'm just gonna wait for him to make.
But the problem is I definitely would have destroyed that income some other way.
But that's
Like,
the point. Why not do it on yourself? It's your money. Like that's why we wanted to call you up here, because it's like you're draining your income into Blade. Or why not just like enjoy yourself, man? Like do something cool. Buy yourself a fucking vacation, bro. Like fuck Brian.
Here's the
Ass, dude. Dead ass. Dead ass. Why not? Plan a fucking trip. Use it like if you are in a bad state, use it to get better. Why don't like what? And like I understand being in such a in such a low place mentally. Like as many of you know, I have been in hoarding positions where my home could not be stepped through because I was so depressed. I simply could not I didn't care if I woke up the next morning. What the fuck would I care to clean my house? I fucking get it. I understand what it's like to be in such a low position, you know? But like I I simply don't understand this.
problem. I never had enough for a vacation. I never had enough for anything legitimately interesting. So
Thousands of dollars isn't enough for a vacation? Where the fuck are you going for a vacation? Cause what? Like even just to another fucking state, dude. Even just to another fucking state. $1,000 is enough to go to and from a place. Even just for a weekend. What the fuck?
my nightly routine was, you know, get Brian to do something funny. Which again, I'm not a good
Is Paypig just a cop for PayPal?
person. I don't want to. I mean, I try to be, but I'm objectively not at this point. I mean, you know, I'm paying for somebody to hurt themselves essentially, which is disgusting. But that's
Chungus, we make videos over lolcows. We're not the best of people either.
And I feel like this right here that Kiwi said, that we are not the best of people for making videos on lolcows. I don't understand that. I don't get it. Making videos on lolcows, or I'm not, and they don't make videos on lolcows. They make videos on predators. Cyrax is a predator. Okay? Cyrax is a predator. Chris Chan is a predator. All of these people that we make fun of, we're making fun of them because they're either predators or they hurt the people around them. You know, like watching lolcows and making fun of these people doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't hinder you from being a good fucking person. Also, hello, Kit Kat Meow.
I do appreciate your honesty in all this. The one thing that I can't wrap my head around is how do you how in your mind is it okay for one streamer to pass you off to another streamer? Like
I
how
mean, here's
Chicken did.
I'm gonna be 100% honest and say that I've been drunk most of the time, so I'm no better than Blade in that regard. But what I will say is that Chicken just decided to quit. That's what it was. I mean, it was gonna be what it was until it wasn't. And he
Would you
quit.
say you did the same kind of stuff with Chicken? Like when you paid Chicken, he would also do what you
Exactly.
asked?
Yeah. I mean, some of the times, I could get him to actually do things that might legitimately help the content in the long run. Like a lot of the donations for trying to get him to fix the fucking RV were legitimate because, there were things he could have done to make that whole thing last longer. And I did enjoy watching the clusterfuck that was that entire RV. But at the end of the day, I don't see it as him passing me off to somebody. I see it as me moving on because there was no. I mean, look. Here's the problem. I had this year long probably, and I think I'm on the other end of it at this point, just because of the fact that I'm not really having as much fun with it as I was when this whole thing started.
It's boring as fuck right now. I can't blame you.
Yeah, and there was this whole period of just like there's this whole field of content that I can influence, and I feel like if I was an organizer for these things, I mean, obviously if I was legitimately doing it, I would do it in a way that didn't necessarily hurt people as much, but this community thrives off of pain. I hate to say it, but they do. And people love to watch batshit insane circumstances occur.
So I want to talk about that this community thrives on pain. And while in a way, yes, 100% it is true. Fuck, I lost my train of thought. God fucking damn it. I'm so fucking high. I should not have smoked as much as I did when I started. God damn it. I'll remember.
And, I felt like I had something to contribute there, but the only way I could actually do it was to offer something that people couldn't argue with. And I enjoyed the content. So, I mean, it's a kind of.
Oh, right. I remember. Back in the day, trolling was about just harassing people and just being mean to people for their interests or for whatever reason, But nowadays, I think we have evolved past that. The people who cover lolcows, the people who, you know, most of the people who are active in this kind of community genuinely dislike these people and want these people to be off the internet because they are a danger. Like these people are, like I said before, are predators. So nowadays, we don't really just make fun of people for being mildly autistic and quirky on the internet, we are going after predators. We're keeping predators in a singular location so that we can keep an eye on them,
This weird confluence of scenarios that ended up in this situation. And, I mean, I wouldn't be friends with Blade probably if I met him in real life, if I didn't understand the reality of what he's doing.
Well, I remember didn't go to in Boston, weren't you with them the one night?
Yeah, I was, and it was both incredibly fun because you never could guess what the next moment was going to bring, but it was also a fucking nightmare. I mean, and I'm sorry for swearing because I know that you.
No, yeah, you're fine.
Sorry for
We don't
for
give a fuck,
YouTube.
dude.
Okay, but it was it there. some of the worst moments were not on stream. I can distinctly remember trying to pull Brian out of an Uber while he was blackout drunk and unable to even walk. And me and this sniper that came had to carry him through a lobby that actually had people trying to check in. And he was just not even coherent and yelling whatever he wanted to yell. And then we got him to the elevator and he just started pissing in the elevator.
To me, Blade seems like the type of guy that still shows up at frat parties and thinks it makes him cool. Like I feel like he'll like try to make all the kids try to call him uncle. You know, like I'm the cool uncle.
I mean that's a reality moment. Like he just would, it filled the whole elevator with piss, and people had to walk through it because I saw the tracks when I left. So you know, like legit.
That piss moment made me think about like what made me want to get better. The fact that my mental health and my problems were now affecting the people around me, you know? And when that happened, I came to the realization I have to stop what I'm doing and do and work on myself, because now I'm not just hurting me. Now I'm not just hurting myself, I'm hurting other people. And that piss thing, because everyone had to walk through that piss. At that point, it's like pissing in an elevator full of people. Once your mental health and your problems start oozing out from your fucking cooter hole and down your pants and begin to flood the elevator full of people, that is when we need to, you know, like say, okay, like I really need help. Like that's the point. And it is okay to ask for help. It is okay to reach out for help. It's always okay, you know. But at that point, you have to, like, yes, I pissed in the elevator and now I have to clean it up and I have to apologize to everybody for pissing in the elevator and I have to do what I can to make it up. You know, you don't just piss in the elevator and expect everybody to be okay with it.
Legitimate customers of this hotel had to walk through his.
I've always said my goal in mental health is to keep my problems from becoming everyone's problem. Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, I understand. And sometimes, a lot of the time, you're gonna fuck up and you're gonna hurt somebody. That's inevitable, especially when it comes to mental health and things that you cannot control. Um, you're gonna do it. You're going to do it. And that's not okay, but you do what you can to make up for it, and you do what you can to be better and not do the thing that you then not piss in the elevator again.
My thing is that, like, why couldn't you just watch it? Why'd you? Because you wanted it to go a certain way. There's a huge
Well,
difference between watching this content, which we do. We all here watch it, but we don't pay for it. That is the line. What?
here's what
What?
else.
Okay, no, go on ahead.
Oh, no. Well, I don't want to overtake because this is your show, but I would pay for it to encompass my ideas in the content. I became a part of it to understand what I was doing. And I think after I was a part of it, I was both excited because of obviously, if you enjoy watching fucking disasters happen, then that's something you might enjoy in real life.
Yeah,
At
we,
least,
we enjoy watching disasters, but it's like when you take that step to giving a guy.
When you take the step to become part of the disaster is when it stops being okay. You can watch the disaster because, you probably can do absolutely nothing to stop the disaster. There's probably nothing you can do ever to stop the disaster. But, what you do is you step back and you try to not make it worse. You just observe. There's nothing wrong with just observing. There's a reason why zoos exist. We want to be able to examine things that are not human. And I don't want to say these people aren't human, but like that are not like us. You know what I mean? This person is somebody who has a very different way of viewing things and perceiving things, that perceiving concepts, you know? So like, to this person, what is moral, what is correct is different to what most of us would probably think and deem as moral and correct, you know? It's why, again, it's why we have zoos, because we want to examine, we want to look at things that are not like us. We are curious creatures, you know? So like, it there's no point in abusing an animal in a zoo. You know what I mean? It's behind a cage. Don't fucking throw rocks at it.
Who has like tossed multiple dogs, groped all these women. When you give him even like $5, like that is making it more possible for him to do more of that stuff in the future.
Yeah.
You've
That
admitted that's
is
the reason why you do it, is because you want crazy shit like he's done in the past to continue in the future.
no, that is very true. I do have a moral issue with the dog throwing, with the groping, with the
If you had a moral issue with the dog throwing and the groping of women, the sexual harassment, the sexual abuse, why are you paying for it? Why are you giving money to it? Please, you have admitted everything else perfectly and to a T. You have admitted all of your wrongs, and for that I will commend you, but why start lying here? After all the truth you've spilled, why start lying here?
stuff that actually hurts other people. I don't. I
If you know it hurts other people when you pay him to do these things, you understand that this person does these things when they are intoxicated, and you are providing them with monetary means of acquiring said drug. Like, you are literally putting a bottle in this man's hand and saying, "Go fucking nuts. Entertain me for a good hour." And the people around him suffer for it.
and I've told him this before. I've had a conversation with him about like, and of course his way out is saying I can't control it when I'm Lit Romney, but I am not okay with that stuff. But I also know that like the prevailing probability is that he won't do that on a given night, and I can potentially figure out when he might be likely to, like, I might
He
donate.
does that when he's drunk and you pay him to get drunk.
That's true, but he does that more when he's with people that he does.
This really sounds like an addict trying to validate their addiction, trying to justify the things that they do because of their addiction. This is what it sounds like to me.
Doesn't know, that don't understand, like he won't do that shit when he's by himself doing a desktop stream. He'll do that shit when he's IRL, when he's with people at somebody's house. Like I'll feel a little bit more inclined to just sit back, if that's the reality. And I mean that might be a more recent idea. I mean it's been a journey. I'll give you that.
True. I just want you to know this though, brother, because you got to realize, like,
That's no different than buying a crack addict a crack rock and then filming them acting a fool. That's not okay. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, and I'm not saying that like filming people without their consent is an okay thing to do, because it never is. Um, but let's say that there is somebody who is clearly on drugs out and about in the street, you could take a video of this person. You shouldn't, but you didn't put them in that situation. That's where the difference lies. You're not putting these people in these situations. You are just observing these people who are already in these situations. There's a big difference.
if you don't give him that money to drink, he's gonna drink anyway. He is a fucking
Absolutely. It is exploitation. That's exactly what it is.
alcoholic. And when I see him do these fire sale streams where people are just showering him in money to get him more drunk, I think I want y'all to realize that if you don't pay, he's gonna do this anyway.
But
Like,
see,
no matter-
that's I'm sorry, but that's the thing I think that people don't understand, is that eventually he will be like, no, I'm not doing this. He'll go into some depression and he won't get a job.
I have listened to people say these kinds of things, trying to say why it is, perfectly normal and perfectly okay for them to have a gambling addiction. I've worked in casinos before, and, you hear about that kind of thing a lot. You see it a lot. And it really sounds like somebody with a gambling addiction, trying to say why they will actually at some point win the jackpot. So far it's not working, but they keep throwing money at it because maybe it might.
Job, but he'll go into some depression mode and not stream for like months.
This is actually very valid question from a friend of the channel. Would you like to talk about the donation where you recommended they throw Willie down the stairs?
Yes, that I can confirm with all my heart, and my PayPal record was not me. I don't know who the fuck did that. Power Chat allows you to put in whatever name you want, and it gives you no reason to check that. So people can donate as me whenever they want. Now I don't know.
Been Vinny's before.
Yeah, and I wasn't even. If you check I mean, you can't now, unfortunately. But if somebody does have a clip of the chat record around that time, I'm not chatting. I was not watching the stream. If I had been watching the stream, I definitely would have advocated for Willie to get medical assistance.
Why would he lie about this? He's already admitted that he pays Blade to do all this other shit. Like, why would he lie about this? He's got.
And I don't necessarily, I don't really care about this here, because I'm pretty sure, like if this person can back up the fact that they did in fact not do this, because you can go back and look at records, you can go look through all your transactions that you've made in PayPal, and you can go prove that at the time there was no transaction made. Absolutely. If you can come forward with that, 100% believe him, and at this point, like Kiwi said, there really isn't a reason for him to lie, but he did kind of slip up earlier.
No reason to lie.
Yeah, and again,
I actually believe you on this.
Yeah, and if somebody did want my PayPal record from around that time, as long as I can get it, I think I can for tax records, I'd be willing to show that there was no, and I obviously would not put my cards into Power Chat. That is a big mistake if you do that. But yeah, no, I had a whole shit of a time because everybody thought immediately it was me. But again, anybody can donate as anybody on Power Chat, and that's the whole reason. If people remember for the chicken streams, that's why I bought the subscription, because it would turn gold, and I figured nobody trying to impersonate me would actually do that. So like, and plus you need an account for that. So
I have a question though.
Yeah.
What is it like when Blade calls you and asks you to donate? Do you usually do? How do you feel about someone calling you and basically being like, "Hey, bitch, pay up"?
Most of the time, I just remember the fact that in the long run, karma's gonna pay its course. Both to me and to Blade. I mean, I am fully aware of his abusive nature in that regard when he gets drunk. But I'm also like, well, another triple is another potential funny moment.
So if he's abusive,
why are the potential funny moments worth more to you than him hurting the people around him? And not even just hurting himself, because that's like, I suppose you could justify it that he's just hurting himself. He's not hurting anybody else. It's just contained to himself, right? Why is the funny moment worth more than that? I don't. Is it a lack of empathy? Is it? I have no idea, but it's.
Does all this, why not be his karma? You can be his karma by just stop donating to him right now, because as you said, when he gets drunk, he does this stuff, and when you pay him, you're only further getting him drunk more and more. And I know you did say this stuff doesn't happen at like desktop streams and everything, which he's been doing mostly lately, but again, you've been donating him for God knows how long now. So it's like, why not? Like, you realize, like, you can take this power away from him to where he can't abuse people and he can't do this. But it's guys like you and Vinny and all who just let him, you let him live this lifestyle.
And yet, my rebuttal to this is that I literally have not donated in the last 5 to 7 streams, depending on the one.
Oh my God, Cyrax, that totally makes up for all of the thousands of dollars that you've donated in the past however many years. Totally makes up for it, 100%.
That I ever remember versus don't know. And other people have taken up the weight, or he's done it himself. So I mean, at some point I was just a cog in the machine, And I think that it's going to take its course no matter if I was the one who felt like I had a say in it versus somebody else feels like they have a say
But
in it.
you were that person who
I was.
did give the
I
money. You still
I
are
don't
though. You
deny that.
still are.
I I promise you, in the last 5 or so streams, I mean, maybe I've donated $3 to say something. I think I probably have a
That's
couple
still money
times.
though in his pocket.
Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Like, no, dude. Like, oh my gosh. And like, this is the same thing that I feel whenever I'm like watching a Chris Chan stream. Because I'll give Chris Chan a view. Fine. Because nobody else is stream sniping Chris right now that I know of. If anybody can let me know who is stream sniping Chris, 100% would check it out. But like, money, thousands of dollars.
It is, but it's not fire sales, which is his main.
And I don't understand how you would want the love of Blade versus the love of the people. Like, you realize by doing this makes a lot of people thoroughly dislike you.
Yeah, and I don't understand that, considering the notion of we're all achieving the same end goal.
We are not in any way achieving the same end goal, okay? And a lot of people in the community do not have the same idea of an end goal, because there's a lot of people who believe that these people should be thrown in jail. There's a lot of people who believe that these people should straight up just die. There are people who believe that these people belong in mental institutions, you know? There are people who believe that these people should be doing this until they die. There is oh my fucking god. I haven't donated in the last 4 to 5 streams. I haven't sent my penis picture to any minors since the last one. A very good correlation. I love that. 'Cause yeah. That's exactly what's happening here.
Well, we're not paying that. That's like the thing that separates us from you. You know, we still watch Blade content, but we do not pay a person who's a serial sexual assaulter.
That's true, but I am of the mind that in any case, I'm either helping myself through the content that I find funny and it's derogatory and it's everything we know it to be, or 2, I'm helping to maybe bring him to rock bottom and he can figure it out.
Right there. So I think what you're saying is, like you said, we all have the common end goal, and that's seeing Blade at rock bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I say this: you, Vinny, if you guys, and I'm telling you this, if you just stopped giving him a red cent of your money, that shit would happen before you know it. Because like you said, he ain't gonna get a job. He's got nothing to do but sit on this computer all day. And you're telling me after 2 months of making like $20 a night, Blade wouldn't be sitting there at the complete lowest of rock bottom you've ever seen him?
I completely agree, and that's why I'm saying that I am not much of a pay pig anymore. I mean, I think that there is.
I'm not much of a pay pig anymore. You can't take a few weeks and compare them to years and thousands of dollars. Okay, listen, we would believe you if it was just like 1 or 2 little donations here and there. But it's been years. You've been doing this for years and investing in this. Like, people put this kind of money into businesses. People put this kind of money into school, into into funerals, into birthdays, into weddings. You know, like, this kind of money is like, in this kind of society that we live in, money is life. If you don't have money, you probably aren't living a very good life. You know, most of my problems would be solved with money, and I'm pretty sure y'all are in the same boat. I just need a few $100,000 and I'm gonna be set. I don't even, you know what I mean? I know you know what I mean. Like, it's clearly some kind of addiction, and it's not good for anybody involved.
This idea that I was going to keep doing it, but I mean, truth is, not only for my own reasons, but just because at this point it is kind of boring. I'm not going to be contributing the way I was in the past. And if anybody does, I would ask you to verify it with me, because I'm not, I'm not going to be doing. I don't have the funds. Number one, I don't have the extra capital. But also number two, I mean, it's getting to a point where I've seen the scope of it, and to be honest, I would rather give my money to something like a fish tank or something like a prison stream or something with a little bit more dynamicism than
Car, better house, new shoes, a new headset, groceries, going out to dinner, getting a girlfriend and buying her things. Like, there's so many things that you could do with a few $1,000s, which is what I'm assuming he's tossed at this man, you know? Like, you could, you know what? You could even spend all this fucking money on fucking Fortnite skins, and I would respect it so much more.
like
Well,
Why
the
not
same
go out
old.
and
some
live?
yeah, some genuine advice would be that if you're in a bad state right now, don't donate to nothing.
Exactly, dude. If you're in a bad mental state, use it to purchase therapy. A few $1,000s. I mean, it won't be too many sessions, but it'll be something, you know? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't fucking get it.
Don't donate to none of
Mhm.
this shit, bro. The content's going to happen whether you donate or not. That's what I just told the people on our stream before you joined, is that if you're in a bad place, please do not donate to us. Don't donate to anybody. And like Blade is another, like he's just another one. Don't donate to Blade if you're in a bad place. And I know you said you're going to stop doing the Paypig shit. So like I said, we'll see that. We'll see that. I know there's a bunch
Yeah.
of fake big chunguses in the chat. I've seen them before. People donate to saying shit under your name a lot, but I mean, if that comes in and there's like a $20 dono from Big Chungus, everyone's gonna know it's you. So I mean, if you're
Yeah.
saying this right now, man, just stick with it. Stick with it.
No,
But
of
make-
course. I know.
Yeah.
I'm 100% legitimate. I mean, you know, I'm just not.
So if you
It's
won the lottery
different.
tomorrow, would you give Blade another dollar? And be honest.
If I was honest, I probably would, but I think it would be under the idea that, you know what, at some point he's going to have to come to his reckoning. And
I don't
I
think there's
mean,
any cure for you, my friend.
Yep. That was very well said. Because no, this is some kind of addiction, whether it be to shopping, spending money, or an addiction to control and to have the ability to control what people do online with your money. Of course, Gregory. We will see each other tomorrow, maybe, or probably, most likely. I will be on with Kozantin. I'm not sure what time yet. We haven't figured that out yet, but when I figure it out, I'll let y'all know.
because the problem, well, I mean, I'm not saying I'm any better, but I will say that, like,
No, I'm saying the way that you're thinking is like, if you had a surplus of money, you would give it to Blade. I am almost without a doubt
well,
wholeheartedly
no,
convinced you will give again as soon as you're in the
I
position to.
that's not 100% true because it would be metered. I
Just because you give little bits, small amounts of money doesn't mean you didn't give them money. You still gave him money. That's valuable.
would not be giving the I mean, if anybody has any idea of the history, I mean, I'm not saying that people would follow that, but if somebody does, there was definitely a period around the chicken, the RV streams where I was giving massive amounts of capital to people, like absurd amounts of money.
More than you probably spend on yourself, I would say.
I would venture that 100%. But since then, it's sort of been a disillusionment and a reduction because of the fact of the minimal returns. I mean, as time has gone on, it's been a little bit more, just not
So
what it was.
what you're saying is that you usually see yourself as the puppet master in these types of situations?
A little bit. I mean, I am not a person that is. I mean, I'm probably too much of an open book for my own good, but I will say that I'm not a person that is the best. But I also do want the best for people. But I know
You
for
just
someone
said that
like
you
Blade,
wanted Blade to hit rock bottom. You keep
exactly,
contradicting yourself.
because the problem with Blade is that he's not going to get better until
We are not talking about Blade. We are talking about you. We are talking about your enabling. We're talking about your contribution to the abuse. We're not talking about Blade. This isn't stop your deflecting. That is not what we are here to talk about.
he hits rock bottom. And I
Rock
do want
bottom
the
is
best
dead
for him.
for him.
Well, that is an
He
arguable
probably already
point.
has cirrhosis. His
That's an,
liver is leaking fluid into his gut. That's the reason for the gut. It's the reason for he's got diabetes, and we're running short on time. Is there anything else you'd like to tell him, Smokey, or anything else you'd like to ask?
No, I would just ask one thing. What would it take for you to stop, just stop supporting? What do you think it would take for all these people, like you, Vinny? What do you think it would take for everyone to just stop supporting Brian?
here's what I would say about that. I would say that I am about 1% away from just cutting ties with all of it because of the fact that it's just not enjoyable anymore. For everybody else, I can't say because I feel like somebody will step in my place. And Brian said this himself. There
So what if somebody replaces you? We're not talking about other people. We're talking about you because right now you are the problem. Other people aren't the problem right now. If somebody else steps up, then we're going to take the same fucking we're going to do the same thing that, and I'm not saying we as in I personally had a thing in this. I'm saying we as this side of the argument, they're going to go after you this other person the same way that they went after you. So that doesn't matter. That's for future us to deal with. Right now, we are talking about your contribution to the abuse.
there are cycles of Paypigs. There are cycles of people that get interested and they decide that
Right. And the cycle is breaking because people like Kiwi, people like Smokey, people like, I don't want to say like N-word boy, but like N-word boy, do what they can to expose people like you who are doing this thing to discourage other people to do the same. Because this feeding the lol cows online has gone too far. It has gone too fucking far. I don't want to like. I'm not saying that like, oh, trolling is the sole reason why people do things. Like, no, of course not. That's never the case. But like, putting financial, putting your financials in, just tossing them at somebody who is abusing the people around them, and when you give them that money, they abuse more. Like they don't stop, and they're not going to stop until you stop.
they're going to put all of their money into it and then they either lose their money or they just give up or they just don't care anymore. I will not be the last.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter if you are not the last. The next one gonna do the same fucking thing. It's a cycle, and it takes quite a while to break cycles. Quite a while. It's very difficult, and it's a very confusing and turbulent thing to go through. It really isn't an overnight thing. Just because you're not going to be the last does not mean we are not stopping it.
I think I am approaching the end of my tenure. Not to make it that official, but like I think I'm running out of patience with just the whole entire thing. But somebody will be there behind me to pick up because I think the enamor of being able to control someone like Blade is just a bit too shiny for your average fuck up to be able to handle properly.
I mean, I'm glad that you admit that it's the desire to control somebody. I mean, I'm glad that you finally admitted it.
It's a weird way to put it, but okay.
All right. Well, we thank you for your time.
Okay, so that's that. I don't have anything else for you guys. I just wanted to come on real quick and do this, and throw my opinions out there on it because, oh my god, it's ridiculous. Yo, I had 2 vapes in this house and I can't find them. Oh no, Cozantin, I'm so sorry. Um, but tomorrow I will be, uh, going live with Kozanton, and we're gonna be listening to some Lorne songs, some Lorne calls, or a Lorne call. I don't know if he has anything else that he would like to listen to, um, but yes, that is what we're going to be doing tomorrow, and I hope to see you there. I think that's all I have. So with that, thank you guys for coming, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
干からびた脳みそふざけた街の中でそうわからなくて今フラフラの脳みそって何がってそっと捨てるはっはっはっは明日ってなんというポギ手がりでんぺってぼん洗剤ふらって夏で乾くのでのでのお思い出して何がいるんだ今さよならに慣れてしまってんだこれでいいのかなんてローローローして逆らうねスレッドなく気にしてどうせズルなんだざまみるタンデム飛び手がビデンベッテボンだから今は甘く見る変動態度の淡々と暮らしていて身から出た脳みそどこかで焦げて焼き出そうわからなくて今あやふやな脳みそダメになってそっと捨てるはっはっはっはバカってなんというポギ手がビデンペッテボン洗剤ふらって夏で乾くのでのでのくだらない毎日だったんだ無限の時々なんて今それでいいのだなんてローローローして逆らうねスレッドなく気にしてどうせずれ